Modern RVs fall apart in a few years, but the ones on this list were built in an era when nothing was disposable. These rigs have steel cages, aluminum skeletons, one-piece fiberglass shells, and diesel engines made for 300,000 miles or more. Today we're uncovering RVs so tough and irreplaceable, the industry wishes you'd forget they exist. Let's get rolling. The Airstream Excella is one of the toughest travel trailers ever built. Unlike modern RVs that use cheap fiberglass and laminated walls, the Excella features aircraft-style riveted aluminum construction, the same method used on commercial airplanes. Its body is a single reinforced aluminum shell designed to last over 50 years, with almost no frame rot. Units from the 70s and 80s are still traveling today. Inside, Airstream used marine-grade cabinetry, real wood paneling, and thick insulation, materials that won't warp or fall apart like modern alternatives. The signature curved shell design isn't just iconic, it actually resists wind better than boxy trailers, reducing dangerous sway while towing. Here's the incredible part. You can still find older Excella models for $3,500 to $8,000, depending on length and condition. Even dented units hold value because the structure practically never fails. Many owners report towing them for 200,000 miles over their lifetime. Interior restorations can get expensive, but if you want a trailer that outlasts modern RVs and holds value better than 90% of travel trailers today, the Airstream Excella delivers. It's genuinely built like a tank. Foretravel didn't just build motorhomes, they built commercial-grade machines engineered to survive 1,000,000 miles. The Unicoach line used a proprietary steel chassis with full air ride suspension and bus-level drivetrain systems normally found in luxury coaches, costing 10 times more. These weren't mass-produced. They were hand-assembled in small batches in Texas, using real hardwoods, fiberglass roofs, high-end Cummins or Caterpillar diesel engines, and Allison transmissions built to last over 500,000 miles. What makes the Unicoach a true tank is its steel skeleton. Unlike modern RVs with cheap stapled wood frames, Foretravel welded everything: walls, floors, roof supports, and subframe. This prevents flexing, sagging, and frame separation. Many units from the 90s still ride smoother than brand new diesel coaches today. Foretravel owners commonly report odometers showing 300,000 to 600,000 miles. These rigs were built for people who wanted a rolling home that could cross the country for decades. Today, older Unicoaches sell for $8,000 to $25,000, but occasionally a high-mileage or cosmetically rough unit appears for $5,000 to $7,000, making it one of the greatest value buys in the entire RV world. If you want a true tank, this is it. The Bluebird Wanderlodge is literally built on a school bus chassis, the same steel platform designed to protect children at highway speeds. This alone makes it one of the most indestructible RVs ever created. Instead of flimsy wood framing, Bluebird used quarter-inch steel cage construction, commercial bus windows, and full-body fiberglass and steel panels that resist dents, water, and impacts far better than modern RVs. Inside, everything is overbuilt. Real hardwood cabinets, aviation-grade wiring, industrial plumbing, and electrical systems designed for decades of use. These rigs routinely last 30 to 40 years with only routine maintenance. Many Wanderlodges exceed 400,000 miles, and their Detroit diesel or Caterpillar engines can outlive multiple owners. Because they're heavy, often 32,000 to 46,000 pounds, they ride like luxury buses. No rattling, no shaking, no delamination. They were built when companies cared more about longevity than profit margins. Older models from the 80s can sell as low as $7,500 to $15,000, making them a steal considering they originally cost the equivalent of over $500,000 in today's money. If you want an RV that could literally survive a collision, the Wanderlodge is the definition of a rolling tank. Newell is the supercar of RVs, a hand-built, custom luxury motorhome mounted on a proprietary steel chassis engineered to last for generations. Back in the 80s and 90s, Newell used machining tolerances normally found in aviation. These rigs feature welded steel cage construction, commercial-grade driveline components, and bus-level air suspension systems designed for over 500,000 miles of travel. Every Newell from this era used real materials: hardwood cabinetry, steel framing, fiberglass roofs, marine-grade wiring, and insulated wall panels thicker than most RV floors built today. These coaches don't flex, crack, or leak like modern production motorhomes. Engine bays commonly house Detroit diesel or Caterpillar power plants, engines known for million-mile life cycles. Because they originally cost $500,000 to $1 million when new, you still get insane build quality even when buying a 30-year-old unit. Rough, older Newells sometimes hit the market at $7,000 to $15,000 if they have cosmetic issues or high miles. The structure will last a lifetime, and many owners restore them like classic cars. For pure tank-like engineering, Newell sits at the top of the food chain. Country Coach was known for building some of the most mechanically solid diesel pushers ever made. Their legendary Dynomax chassis was engineered in-house with massive steel framing, cross members, and air ride systems that rival commercial buses. This welded structure gives the coach unmatched rigidity, meaning fewer squeaks, no flexing, and almost zero chance of roof or wall separation. What made these rigs tank-like is the combination of structural engineering and premium drivetrains. Most Intrigue and Magna models came with Cummins or Caterpillar engines paired with Allison transmissions. These are million-mile components used in buses and fire trucks. Country Coach refused to use cheap laminated walls. Instead, they used fiberglass over aluminum, high-density foam insulation, marine-grade plywood subfloors, and real cabinetry that doesn't fall apart like modern stapled construction. Many units from the 90s sell for $8,500 to $20,000, but rough units sometimes appear under $7,000. Mechanical systems often outlive cosmetic ones. Owners routinely report 250,000 to 500,000 miles with only basic maintenance. If you want a tank without the cost of Foretravel or Newell, Country Coach is the legendary middle ground. The Monaco Dynasty and executive models are famous for their Roadmaster chassis, one of the strongest RV foundations ever engineered. Unlike modern RVs built on generic rails, the Roadmaster uses 8 outboard airbags paired with 8 gas shocks, creating a wider stance and far more stability than typical diesel coaches. This prevents frame flex, one of the biggest causes of roof cracks and wall separation in cheaper motorhomes. Monaco used welded steel cage construction, not stapled wood or glued composite. Walls and roofs are reinforced with aluminum framing, high-density insulation, and marine-grade components designed to handle temperature swings and long-term vibration. These rigs feel as solid at 200,000 miles as some modern coaches feel fresh off the lot. Power comes from reliable Cummins or Caterpillar engines routinely known to last 300,000 to 500,000 miles. Interiors feature real hardwood cabinetry, residential plumbing, and electrical systems designed for decades of use. Older models from the 90s can be found for $8,000 to $15,000. Occasionally, a high mileage or cosmetically rough unit dips under $7,000. For pure structural strength, the Dynasty and Executive remain some of the most tank-like motorhomes ever built in America. The holiday Rambler Alumalite was decades ahead of its time thanks to its all-aluminum frame, long before other companies adopted lightweight metals. While today's laminated RVs fall apart due to hidden water intrusion, the Alumalite's aluminum skeleton doesn't rot, warp, or delaminate. Holiday Rambler bonded aluminum walls to aluminum studs with insulation that doesn't collapse, making these trailers incredibly resistant to structural failure. One major reason these become tanks is the double-walled construction used in many models. Even the roof trusses are aluminum, drastically reducing water damage risk, the #1 killer of travel trailers. Interiors were built using real hardwood cabinet frames and solid flooring, not the soft particle board found in many modern trailers. Many Alumalite models from the 80s still sell for $2,500 to $6,000 depending on condition. They tow lighter than they look because of the aluminum build, but remain rigid and stable on the road. Some owners report their trailers lasting 30 to 40 years with minimal major repairs. This is one of the few vintage travel trailers that, when found in good condition, can outlast modern RVs costing 10 times more. If you want a budget rig that refuses to rot, the Alumalite is a proven survivor. Beaver Motorcoach was known for extreme craftsmanship, especially during the 90s when the brand was at its peak. The Patriot Thunder stands out as one of the most overbuilt RVs ever produced. It's built on a heavy-duty diesel pusher chassis, often featuring the Caterpillar C12, an engine famous for its million-mile lifespan in commercial trucks. The body uses welded steel subframing with thick fiberglass walls and premium gel coat that resists UV damage far better than cheaper exteriors. Beaver was one of the last companies to install real wood cabinetry, actual hardwood, not veneer or stapled particle board, and the interior quality still holds up 20 to 30 years later. Ride quality is exceptional thanks to full air ride suspension, robust axle systems, and commercial-level braking components. Many Patriot Thunders have 200,000 to 400,000 miles and still operate smoothly. They were premium rigs costing the equivalent of over $400,000 today, so even older units feel high-end. Prices vary, but older or cosmetic-issue Patriots often sell for $9,000 to $15,000. They rarely drop under $8,000, but when they do, they're among the most durable rigs you can buy. These coaches were built when motorhomes were designed to last decades, and they still do. The early Winnebago View became a cult classic because it blended small size with exceptional durability. Built on the Mercedes Sprinter diesel chassis, the View used a 5-cylinder turbo diesel engine known for 300,000 to 500,000 mile longevity when maintained properly. These engines industrially outlast most gasoline-class CRVs built today. The View uses welded aluminum structure and vacuum-laminated exterior panels that are more resistant to delamination than cheaper competitors. Because the motorhome sits on a commercial-grade European chassis, the ride quality is smooth, stable, and far more controlled than a typical Ford Class C. Inside, the View avoided cheap construction. Cabinets, flooring, and plumbing systems were built with high-quality materials because Winnebago still followed strict quality control during that era. Even electrical systems were better organized and protected compared to many modern RVs. Older Views can be found in the $12,000 to $25,000 range, but high-mileage units occasionally appear around $9,000 to $10,000. Owners regularly report 15 to 18 miles per gallon, making it one of the most fuel-efficient motorhomes ever built. If you want a small diesel coach that outlasts most Class C rigs today, the early Winnebago View is the legendary tank in compact form. Daze is one of the last true craft-built RV companies in America, and their older Class C models are famous for lasting 30 to 40 years with minimal structural failure. Every Daze is hand-built using aircraft-grade aluminum siding instead of cheap fiberglass. This choice alone dramatically increases lifespan because aluminum doesn't crack, blister, or delaminate. The company used a fully welded aluminum superstructure for walls and roof, with heavy-duty roofing material that can last decades. Unlike mass-produced RVs, Daze used meticulous design to prevent leaks, the #1 killer of RVs. Their signature two-tone paint scheme is automotive-grade, lasting much longer than modern decals. Most use Ford chassis with the legendary Big Block V8 or Triton V10 engines that routinely hit 200,000 to 350,000 miles before major issues. Interiors include solid cabinetry, thick flooring, and simple repairable systems. No fragile modern RV tech. Older models from the 80s and 90s can be found for $4,000 to $9,000 and occasionally under $3,500 if cosmetically rough. Daze is one of the very few RVs regularly reaching 40-plus years without becoming junk. If you want a Class C that truly refuses to die, this is it. Born-free motorhomes are legendary because they were designed to be rollover-proof. Each unit was built with a steel roll cage molded into the fiberglass body, something no mainstream RV manufacturer does today. This cage protects the cabin from crushing, twisting, and flexing, which massively extends structural life. The fiberglass shell is one piece, eliminating the seams that usually cause leaks in modern Class C RVs. Born Free used handcrafted interiors with solid wood cabinets, marine-grade wiring, and industrial-grade plumbing fixtures. These rigs don't rattle apart, even after decades of highway vibration. Most early models were built on Ford chassis with the trusted Big Block V8 or V10 engines, both capable of 250,000 to 400,000 miles. Even severely neglected born-free units often have perfectly intact structures thanks to their fiberglass shell and steel reinforcement. These rigs were extremely expensive when new, equivalent to $180,000 to $220,000 in today's money. Today, older born-free models typically sell for $6,000 to $15,000, but high mileage or cosmetically rough units can drop to $4,000 to $5,000. If you want a Class C motorhome built to survive accidents, storms, and decades on the road, born-free is one of the strongest RVs ever made. Often called the sports car of RVs, the Chinook Concourse is one of the strongest, most overbuilt Class B+ rigs in American history. The secret is its one-piece molded fiberglass shell, similar to a boat hull. There are no seams, no roof joints, and no weak connection points. This makes Chinooks nearly immune to leaks, the #1 reason RVs die early. Chinooks were built on heavy-duty Ford chassis using the Triton V10 or earlier big block V8, both known to reach 250,000 to 350,000 miles. Because the shell is one solid piece, the interior structure doesn't twist or crack on rough roads. This prevents cabinetry, windows, and roof components from separating over time. Inside, Chinook used premium components, solid cabinetry, strong flooring, and marine-grade wiring. Even the furniture was built to last, unlike fragile modern RV seating that falls apart in 3 to 5 years. These rigs originally cost the equivalent of $150,000 to $200,000 new. Today, older Chinook Concourse models sell for $8,000 to $20,000, but high mileage or cosmetic issue units sometimes dip below $7,000. Because of their strength, many buyers restore Chinooks like collector vehicles. For pure leak-proof, tank-like durability, few RVs can match a Chinook. Safari Motorcoach built some of the toughest RVs of the 90s and early 2000s. Their flagship models, the Serengeti and smaller Trek, used aluminum cage construction, not wood framing. This makes the structure far more resistant to rot, flexing, and long-term weakening. The exterior used thick fiberglass or aluminum skin designed to survive decades without delamination. Safari was widely known for using Caterpillar diesel engines, especially models that often surpass 300,000 to 500,000 miles when maintained. Coupled with Allison transmissions and heavy-duty suspension systems, Safari coaches ride more like buses than RVs. One iconic feature is Safari's proprietary electromatic bed in the Trek, which lowers from the ceiling. Because it frees up living space, the structure uses fewer interior walls, reducing vibration points and increasing longevity. These rigs were built with real hardwood cabinetry, thick insulation, and marine-grade components that still function after 20 to 30 years. Prices today are surprisingly low. Older Serengeti and Trek models typically cost $6,000 to $15,000, with some project units under $5,000. If you want an overbuilt diesel or ultra-solid small Class A, Safari RVs are among the longest-lasting machines ever built. Bigfoot's 2500 series is famous for its two-piece fiberglass clamshell design, meaning the roof and walls are molded together into a seamless unit. This eliminates the roof seams and corner joints that cause 90% of RV water damage. Because of this design, Bigfoot campers routinely last 30 to 40 years with zero structural rot. The thick fiberglass shell is incredibly strong and insulates extremely well, making Bigfoot trailers and truck campers capable of true four-season use. Interior construction includes real cabinetry, insulated floors, and marine-grade plumbing that can handle winter conditions better than most modern four-season RVs. The 2500 series was built during Bigfoot's strongest era, when quality control was strict and materials were top-tier. These rigs don't flex on rough roads, don't leak easily, and don't delaminate like modern laminated walls. Bigfoot units are more expensive than typical used campers, but you can still find older 2500 series models for $4,000 to $10,000 depending on condition. Some rough units dip slightly under $4,000. Because the shells hold up so well, buyers often restore the interiors knowing the structure will outlast almost anything else on the market. If you want a small RV that behaves like a tank, Bigfoot is as bulletproof as it gets. Northwood Manufacturing, creator of the Arctic Fox, built their RVs with a philosophy almost extinct today: oversized frames, heavy insulation, and wood quality you'd normally see in residential homes. Early Arctic Fox units used Northwood's proprietary thick steel off-road chassis, which is far stronger than the thin outsourced frames used by most modern RV brands. The walls were built with real wooden studs, high-density insulation, and thick exterior fiberglass. This gives Arctic Fox trailers and fifth wheels true rigidity and excellent temperature control. Because of the stronger chassis, these units resist frame warping, slide-out sag, and axle misalignment, common failures in modern mass-produced trailers. Interiors feature well-built cabinetry, strong flooring, and simple mechanical systems that last for decades. Many early Arctic Fox owners report using their trailers for 20 to 25 years with zero major structural repairs. It's one of the few travel trailers designed for brutal cold, rough roads, and long-term use. Early 2000s models often sell for $5,000 to $12,000, with the occasional high-mileage unit around $4,500. Because of their cult following, Arctic Fox models hold resale value extremely well. If you want a rugged, cold-weather trailer built like a tank, the Arctic Fox is a top contender. Sunline RVs were never flashy, but they were engineered with a level of quality that makes modern lightweight trailers look disposable. The Solaris line used thick aluminum siding over a well-built wooden frame sealed with industrial-grade sealant. These trailers resist leaks, frame rot, and long-term flex far better than comparable vintage models. Sunline used high-density roof decking, real plywood floors, and cabinetry built from solid wood, not particle board. The roof structure is famously strong and often survives decades without sagging. Interior systems like plumbing and electrical were laid out simply, making them reliable and easy to repair. It's not unusual to see Solaris trailers from the 80s still fully functional today. Sunline had one of the best reputations for durability in the industry, and many owners report over 30 years of use with only basic maintenance. Because they were built in smaller batches, quality control was exceptionally high. Prices today are very affordable. Older Solaris units typically sell for $2,000 to $6,000, depending on size and condition. Well-kept units under $5,000 are common, making them one of the best budget RVs ever made. If you want a simple, rock-solid trailer that refuses to die, the Sunline Solaris is a hidden gem. Anyone who's ever owned one of these rigs knows they don't build RVs like this anymore. Which legendary RV should we cover in a full deep dive next? Comment below. And don't miss the next video. It shows the most common RV scams happening in 2025, so you'll never get ripped off. See you there.